Hello, my name's Fliss, and I'm very happy to be reading a story for you. This story is all about adventures that we go on with our friends. It's called Erin and Roderick Discover the Big Boat, and it's by me, Fliss Goldsmith. I really hope you'll enjoy it. It was a very rainy day, and Erin and her little brother Roderick played with their friend Ikata. Now Ikata lives across the road from Erin and Roderick, and she's 6 years old. They should have been playing football at the park, but it was cancelled due to the rain. Instead, the three children decided to play in Erin's bedroom for the whole afternoon. In the corner of the room, there lay an empty cardboard box. It was the box which Erin's magic set had come in for her birthday. Erin loved her magic set and everything that it could do, but somehow the box seemed even more magical when it was empty. Ikata asked, "Could we use the box for something?" Erin answered, "Yes, but what?" Roderick jumped inside the box and tipped it right over. Erin and Ikata laughed and helped him put the box back up as it should be. Perhaps it could be a racing car, suggested Ikata. Or maybe a bus, said Erin. Roderick smiled. He liked racing cars and he liked buses very much. He made lots of zooming noises and ran round and round the box as fast as he could go. Just then, Mummy came up the stairs with a tray of juice and biscuits. She said, "Ikata, your daddy's just phoned me and his hockey match has been called off because of the rain. It looks like we're all in the same boat." Mummy went back downstairs, and that gave Erin a great idea. "A boat!" exclaimed Erin. "Yes," gasped Ikata, "the box can be a big boat." Roderick nodded in agreement and stuffed a few extra biscuits into his pocket for the voyage ahead. They began to gather together some dolls and some teddy bears and some toys to put inside their big boat. Ikata said, "You know, my daddy sometimes says we shouldn't rock the boat." "Yes," said Erin, "so does my daddy," and they giggled. Why do grown-ups say such strange things, they wondered. "I think we should start to get the passengers ready for their trip," said Erin. Roderick started to put the passengers onto the big boat. There were big ones, little ones, boy ones, girl ones, green ones, pink ones, stripy ones, spotty ones. Some had an eye missing or only one shoe. Some had fur and others had hair. Some were old, some were new. What a wonderful collection of very different toys. No two the same, but they were all very welcome on the big boat. With that, the children and their passengers began their journey. They were all getting along very well, sharing their juice, sharing their biscuits, and telling marvellous stories about who they were and the things they liked. But suddenly, the sky turned very dark, and a storm raged ahead. Everyone in the big boat looked frightened as the rain beat down and the waves rose up. "What shall we do?" Erin asked Ikata. She thought for a moment. The teddies and dolls and toys were scared and they were running round trying to get each other to safety. They kept banging into each other and falling over each other, and some started to get quite cross with the others. "Look, this isn't helping," said Erin. "If we carry on like this, the big boat will tip over." Ikata looked worried. "You're right, and if it tips over, we're all going to fall out of it. We're going to get hurt. We need to share the big boat and to keep it safe." The girls looked over to Roderick, who had started gathering up the tiniest toys and moving them higher up the boat to safety. "He's helping them," Erin said, "and we need to help each other." So they all got to work. Each and every passenger had to work hard against the storm to help the rest of them on the big boat. It didn't matter what they looked like, where they were from, they were all just as important as the next. They knew if they listened to each other and worked together, they could keep themselves safe from the storm on their big boat. The big ones carried the little ones to safety. The boys and the girls worked as one team. The youngest, newest ones helped the oldest ones remain steady, and the oldest one told fabulous stories to keep them smiling and their spirits up in the hard time. The strong ones steered the ship through the wild waves, and the cleverest worked out the best way to get to safe water. They held hands, and they hoped that if they looked after one another and worked together, everything would be all right. After a while, the rain began to clear, and the soft warmth of the sunshine beamed down on everyone in the big boat. Erin looked around, and she saw all the passengers were indeed safe. She said to everyone on board the big boat, "We've done it. We've made it through the storm. We all had a part to play." "Yes, well done, everyone," cheered Carter. Roderick sighed a great sigh of his relief, because he was down to his very last emergency biscuit. "This has been the best day ever," Carter told Erin and Roderick. "I was so sad when I couldn't play football in the park, but I never knew we were going to find the big boat." Erin nodded. "Yes, and now we've got all these new friends who we shared such an amazing adventure with." Roderick cuddled the tiniest teddy, who had just one eye, and he cuddled him so tightly and offered him half of his very last emergency biscuit. The children heard Mummy calling from downstairs. Carter's daddy had arrived to collect her. The children ran downstairs full of excitement from their afternoon together. "Daddy, Daddy, guess what we did?" Carter said with excitement. "I don't know, sweetheart. What did you do?" "We found a big boat," she said, "and we went on an adventure across the wild sea." And Erin added, "We took all sorts of friends, all very different, but they were all very welcome on our boat." Roderick held up the bear, who had only one eye, and said, "This teddy's my friend." Carter went on to say, "We had to work together when things got really rough, but we got to laugh together when things were nice and easy." And Carter's daddy smiled. "That's very good to hear, darling. So nobody rocked the boat then?" The children laughed. "No, Daddy," Carter said. "We're all in the same boat. We have to love each other, help each other, and listen to each other if we're going to keep the boat steady and moving forwards." Carter waved goodbye to Erin and Rod, and she smiled as she walked across the road to her house. Erin and Roderick waved back, and then they closed the door. And as the door gently closed, Erin tightly held Roderick's hand and said, "Do you know, maybe the world's a bit like our big boat, and I'm glad we're all in it together." Roderick reached into his pocket and pulled out the tiny one-eyed bear, covered in crumbs from eating the half of Rod's very last emergency biscuit. And Erin and Roderick smiled a very big smile indeed. I do hope you enjoyed the story, and I hope that you'll soon be going on some big adventures of your very own.